أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
كافها يا عين صاد.
Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. Thou art sufficient for all, and thou art the true guide, O all-knowing, truthful God.
ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا.
This is an account of the mercy of thy Lord shown to his servant Zachariah.
إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا.
When he called upon his Lord in a low voice,
قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا.
he said, My Lord, my bones have indeed become feeble, and my head is all aflame with hoariness. But never, my Lord, have I been unblessed in my prayer to thee.
وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي آقرا فهب لي من لدنك وليا.
And I fear my relations after me, and my wife is barren, so grant me from thyself a successor.
يرثني ويرث من آل يعقوب واجعله ربي رضيا.
To be my heir, and the heir of the blessings of the house of Jacob, and make him, my Lord, well-pleasing to thee.
يا زكريا إنا نبشرك بغلام اسمه يحيى لم نجعل له من قبل سميا.
God said, O Zachariah, we give thee glad tidings of a son, whose name shall be Yahya. We have not called anyone before him by that name.
قال رب أنى يكون لي غلام وكانت امرأتي عاقرا وقد بلغت من الكبر عتيا.
He said, O my Lord, how shall I have a son when my wife is barren, and I have reached the extreme limit of old age?
قال كذلك قال ربك هو علي هين وقد خلقتك من قبل ولم تك شيئا.
The angel bearing the revelation said, So it shall be. But thy Lord says, It is easy for me, and indeed I created thee before, when thou wast nothing.
قال رب اجعل لي آية قال آيتك ألا تكلم الناس 3 ليال سويا.
Zachariah said, My Lord, appoint for me a commandment. God said, The commandment for thee is that thou shalt not speak to the people for 3 successive days and nights.
فخرج على قومه من المحراب فأوحى إليهم أن سبحوا بكرة وعشيا.
Then he came forth unto his people from the chamber, and asked them in a low voice to glorify God morning and evening.
يا يحيى خذ الكتاب بقوة وآتيناه الحكم صبيا.
God said, O Yahya, hold fast the book, and we gave him wisdom while yet a child.
وحنانا من لدنا وزكاة وكان تقيا.
And tenderness of heart from us, and purity, and he was pious.
وبرا بوالديه ولم يكن جبارا عصيا.
And dutiful toward his parents, and he was not haughty and rebellious.
وسلام عليه يوم ولد ويوم يموت ويوم يبعث حيا.
And peace was on him the day he was born, and the day he died, and peace will be on him the day he will be raised up to life again.
واذكر في الكتاب مريم إذ انتبذت من أهلها مكانا شرقيا.
And relate the story of Mary, as mentioned in the book, when she withdrew from her people to an eastern place.
فاتخذت من دونهم حجابا فارسلنا إليها روحنا فتمثل لها بشرا سويا.
And screened herself off from them. Then we sent our angel to her, and he appeared to her in the form of a well-proportioned man.
قالت إني أعوذ بالرحمن منك إن كنت تقيا.
She said, I seek refuge with the gracious God from thee, if indeed thou dost fear him.
قال إنما أنا رسول ربك لأهب لك غلاما زكيا.
The angel said, I am only a messenger of thy Lord, that I may give thee the glad tidings of a righteous son.
قالت أنى يكون لي غلام ولم يمسسني بشر ولم أك بغيا.
She said, How can I have a son when no man has touched me, neither have I been unchaste.
قال كذلك قال ربك هو علي هين ولنجعله آية للناس ورحمة منا وكان أمرا مقضيا.
The angel said, Thus it shall be. But says thy Lord, It is easy for me, and we shall do so, that we may make him a sign unto men, and a mercy from us, and it is a thing decreed.
فحملته فانتبذت به مكانا قصيا.
So she conceived him, and withdrew with him to a remote place.
فأجاءها المخاض إلى جذع النخلة قالت يا ليتني مت قبل هذا وكنت نسيا منسيا.
And the pains of childbirth drove her unto the trunk of a palm tree. She said, O would that I had died before this, and had become a thing quite forgotten.
فناداها من تحتها ألا تحزني قد جعل ربك تحتك سريا.
Then the angel called her from beneath her, saying, Grieve not, thy Lord has placed a rivulet below thee.
وهزي إليك بجذع النخلة تساقط عليك رطبا جنيا.
And shake towards thyself the trunk of the palm tree. It will drop upon thee fresh ripe dates.
فكلي واشربي وقري عينا فإما ترين من البشر أحدا فقولي إني نذرت للرحمن صوما إني نذرت للرحمن صوما فلن أكلم اليوم إنسيا.
So eat and drink and cool thine eye, and if thou seest any man, say, I have vowed a fast to the gracious God. I will therefore not speak this day to any human being.
فأتت به قومها تحمله قالوا يا مريم لقد جئت شيئا فريا.
Then she brought him to her people, mounted. They said, O Mary, surely thou hast committed a monstrous thing.
يا أخت هارون ما كان أبوك امرأ سوء وما كانت أمك بغيا.
O sister of Aaron, thy father was not a wicked man, nor was thy mother an unchaste woman.
فأشارت إليه قالوا كيف نكلم من كان في المهد صبيا.
Thereupon she pointed to him. They said, "How can we talk to one who is a child in the cradle?"
قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا.
Jesus said, "I am a servant of Allah. He has given me the book and has made me a prophet.
وجعلني مباركا أينما كنت وأوصاني بالصلاة والزكاة ما دمت حيا.
And he has made me blessed wheresoever I may be, and has enjoined upon me prayer and almsgiving so long as I live.
وبرا بوالدتي ولم يجعلني جبارا شقيا.
And he has made me dutiful towards my mother, and has not made me arrogant and graceless.
والسلام علي يوم ولدت ويوم أموت ويوم أبعث حيا.
And peace was on me the day I was born, and peace will be on me the day I shall die, and the day I shall be raised up to life again.
ذلك عيسى ابن مريم قول الحق الذي فيه يمترون.
That was Jesus, son of Mary. This is a statement of the truth concerning which they entertain doubt.
ما كان لله أن يتخذ من ولد سبحانه إذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون.
It does not befit the majesty of Allah to take unto himself a son. Holy is he. When he decrees a thing, he says to it, "Be," and it comes into being.
وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ رَبِّي وَرَبُّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُوهُ هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ.
Said Jesus, "Surely, Allah is my Lord and your Lord, so worship him alone. This is the right path."
فاختلف الأحزاب من بينهم فويل للذين كفروا من مشهد يوم عظيم.
But the parties differed among themselves, so woe to those who disbelieve, because of the meeting of a grievous day.
أسمع بهم وأبصر يوم يأتوننا لكن الظالمون اليوم في ضلال مبين.
How well will they hear and see on the day when they will come to us. But today, the wrongdoers are in manifest error.
وأنذرهم يوم الحسرة إذ قضي الأمر وهم في غفلة وهم لا يؤمنون.
And warn them of the day of sorrow, when the matter will be decided. But now they are in a state of heedlessness, so they do not believe.
إنا نحن نرث الأرض ومن عليها وإلينا يرجعون.
It is we who shall inherit the earth, and all who are thereon, and to us will they all be returned.
واذكر في الكتاب إبراهيم إنه كان صديقا نبيا.
And relate the story of Abraham as mentioned in the book. He was a truthful man and a prophet.
إذ قال لأبيه يا أبت لم تعبد ما لا يسمع ولا يبصر ولا يغني عنك شيئا.
When he said to his father, O my father, why dost thou worship that which neither hears nor sees, nor can avail thee aught?
يا أبت إني قد جاءني من العلم ما لم يأتك فاتبعني يهدك صراطا سويا.
O my father, there has indeed come to me knowledge such as not come to thee. So follow me. I will guide thee to a straight path.
يا أبت لا تعبد الشيطان إن الشيطان كان للرحمن عصيا.
O my father, worship not Satan. Surely, Satan is a rebel against the gracious God.
يا أبت إني أخاف أن يمسك عذاب من الرحمن فتكون للشيطان وليا.
O my father, indeed, I fear lest a punishment from the gracious God seize thee, and thou become a friend of Satan.
قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم لئن لم تنته لأرجمنك وهجرني مليا.
He replied, Dost thou turn away from my gods, O Abraham? If thou desist not, I shall surely cut off all relations with thee. Now leave me alone for a while.
قال سلام عليك سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا.
Abraham said, Peace be upon thee. I will ask forgiveness of my Lord for thee. He is indeed gracious to me.
وأعتزلكم وما تدعون من دون الله وأدعو ربي عسى ألا أكون بدعاء ربي شقيا.
And I shall keep away from you, and from that which you call upon, beside Allah. And I will pray unto my Lord. Maybe that in praying to my Lord, I shall not be disappointed.
فلما اعتزلهم وما يعبدون من دون الله وهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب وكلا جعلنا نبيا.
So when he had separated himself from them, and from that which they worshipped beside Allah, we bestowed upon him Isaac and Jacob, and each of them we made a prophet.
وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُم مِّن رَّحْمَتِنَا وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُمْ لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ عَلِيًّا.
And we granted them abundantly of our mercy, and we bestowed upon them true and lasting renown.
وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ مُوسَىٰ إِنَّهُ كَانَ مُخْلَصًا وَكَانَ رَسُولًا نَبِيًّا.
And relate the story of Moses as mentioned in the book. He was indeed a chosen one, and he was a messenger, a prophet.
وَنَادَيْنَاهُ مِن جَانِبِ الطُّورِ الْأَيْمَنِ وَقَرَّبْنَاهُ نَجِيًّا.
And we called him from the right side of the mount, and we made him draw near to us for special communion.
وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُ مِن رَّحْمَتِنَا أَخَاهُ هَارُونَ نَبِيًّا.
And we bestowed upon him, out of our mercy, his brother Aaron, whom we made a prophet.
وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ إِسْمَاعِيلَ إِنَّهُ كَانَ صَادِقَ الْوَعْدِ وَكَانَ رَسُولًا نَبِيًّا.
And relate the story of Ishmael as mentioned in the book. He was indeed true to his promises, and he was a messenger, a prophet.
وَكَانَ يَأْمُرُ أَهْلَهُ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ وَكَانَ عِندَ رَبِّهِ مَرْضِيًّا.
He used to enjoin prayer and almsgiving on his people, and he was well-pleasing to his Lord.
وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ إِدْرِيسَ إِنَّهُ كَانَ صِدِّيقًا نَبِيًّا.
And relate the story of Idris as mentioned in the book. He was a truthful man and a prophet.
وَرَفَعْنَاهُ مَكَانًا عَلِيًّا.
And we exalted him to a lofty station.
أُولَئِكَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ مِنْ ذُرِّيَّةِ آدَمَ وممن حملنا مع نوح ومن ذرية إبراهيم وإسرائيل وممن هدينا واجتبينا.
These are the people upon whom Allah bestowed His blessings from among the prophets of the posterity of Adam, and of the posterity of those whom we carried in the ark with Noah, and of the posterity of Abraham and Israel, and they are of those whom we guided and chose.
إذا تتلى عليهم آيات الرحمن خروا سجدا وبكيا.
When the signs of the gracious God were recited unto them, they fell down, prostrating themselves before Allah and weeping.
فخلف من بعدهم خلف أضاعوا الصلاة واتبعوا الشهوات فسوف يلقون غيا.
Then there came after them an evil generation who neglected prayer and followed their evil desires, so they will meet destruction.
إلا من تاب وآمن وعمل صالحا فأولئك يدخلون الجنة ولا يظلمون شيئا.
Except those who repent and believe and do good deeds, these will enter heaven, and they will not be wronged in the least.
جنات عدن التي وعد الرحمن عباده بالغيب إنه كان وعده مأتيا.
Gardens of eternity, which the gracious God has promised to His servants, while they are yet hidden from their sight. Surely His promise must come to pass.
لا يسمعون فيها لغوا إلا سلاما ولهم رزقهم فيها بكرة وعشيا.
They will not hear therein anything vain, but only greetings of peace. They will have their sustenance therein, morning and evening.
تلك الجنة التي نورث من عبادنا من كان تقيا.
Such is the heaven which we shall give for an inheritance to those of our servants who are righteous.
وما نتنزل إلا بأمر ربك له ما بين أيدينا وما خلفنا وما بين ذلك وما كان ربك نسيا.
And the angels will say to them, We do not come down save by the command of thy Lord. To Him belongs all that is before us, and all that is behind us, and all that is between, and thy Lord is not forgetful.
رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما فاعبده واصطبر لعبادته هل تعلم له سميا.
He is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and of all that is between the two. Serve him, therefore, and be steadfast in his service. Dost thou know anyone equal to him?
ويقول الإنسان وإذا ما مت لسوف أخرج حيا.
And says man, what? When I am dead, shall I be brought forth alive?
أولا يذكر الإنسان أنا خلقناه من قبل ولم يك شيئا.
Does not man remember that we created him before, when he was nothing?
فوربك لنحشرنهم والشياطين ثم لنحضرنهم حول جهنم جثيا.
And by thy Lord we shall assuredly gather them together, and the Satans too. Then shall we bring them on their knees around hell.
ثم لننزعن من كل شيعة أيهم أشد على الرحمن عتيا.
Then shall we certainly pick out from every group those of them who are most stubborn in rebellion against the gracious God.
ثم لنحن أعلم بالذين هم أولى بها صليا.
And surely we know best those deserving to be burnt therein.
وإن منكم إلا واردها كان على ربك حتما مقضيا.
And there is not one of you but will come to it. This is an absolute decree from thy Lord.
ثم ننجي الذين اتقوا ونذر الظالمين فيها جثيا.
And we shall save the righteous, and shall leave the wrongdoers therein on their knees.
وإذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا بينات قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أي الفريقين خير مقاما وأحسن نديا.
And when our manifest signs are recited unto them, the disbelievers say to the believers, tell us, which of the two parties is better in respect of position and is more impressive in respect of companions?
وكم أهلكنا قبلهم من قرن هم أحسن أثاثا ورئيا.
And how many a generation have we destroyed before them, who were better off than these in wealth and better in outward show?
قل من كان في الضلالة فليمدد له الرحمن مدا حتى إذا رأوا ما يوعدون إما العذاب وإما الساعة فسيعلمون من هو شر مكانا وأضعف جندا.
Say, the gracious God grants those who are in error respite for a time, until, when they will see that which they are threatened, whether it be punishment or the final hour, they will realize who is worse in respect of position and weaker in forces.
ويزيد الله الذين اهتدوا هدى والباقيات الصالحات خير عند ربك ثوابا وخير مردا.
And Allah increases in guidance those who follow guidance, and the good works that endure are best in the sight of thy Lord, in respect of reward, and in respect of the ultimate end.
أفرأيت الذي كفر بآياتنا وقال لأوتين مالا وولدا.
Hast thou not seen him who disbelieves in our signs, and says, I shall certainly be given great wealth and children?
أطلع الغيب أم اتخذ عند الرحمن عهدا.
Has he got knowledge of the unseen, or has he taken a promise from the gracious God?
كلا سنكتب ما يقول ونمد له من العذاب مدا.
Indeed not. We shall note down what he says, and shall prolong for him the punishment.
ونرثه ما يقول ويأتينا فردا.
And we shall inherit from him all that he talks of, and he shall come to us all alone.
واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة ليكونوا لهم عزا.
And they have taken other gods than Allah, that they may be a source of honor and power for them.
كلا سيكفرون بعبادتهم ويكونون عليهم ضدا.
Not at all. They will deny their worship and will be their opponents.
ألم تر أنا أرسلنا الشياطين على الكافرين تؤزهم أزا.
Seest thou not that we send Satans against the disbelievers, inciting them to acts of disobedience?
فلا تعجل عليهم إنما نعد لهم عدا.
So be not thou in haste against them. We are keeping full account of their doings.
يوم نحشر المتقين إلى الرحمن وفدا.
Remember the day when we shall gather the righteous before the gracious God as honored guests.
ونسوق المجرمين إلى جهنم وردا.
And we shall drive the guilty to hell like a herd of thirsty camels.
لا يملكون الشفاعة إلا من اتخذ عند الرحمن عهدا.
None will have the power of intercession, save he who has received a promise from the gracious God.
وقالوا اتخذ الرحمن ولدا.
And they say, the gracious God has taken unto himself a son.
لقد جئتم شيئا إدا.
Assuredly, you have indeed uttered a most hideous thing.
تكاد السماوات يتفطرن منه وتنشق الأرض وتخر الجبال هدا.
The heavens might well nigh burst thereat, and the earth cleave asunder, and the mountains fall down in pieces.
أن دعوا للرحمن ولدا.
Because they ascribe a son to the gracious God.
وما ينبغي للرحمن أن يتخذ ولدا.
It becomes not the gracious God that he should take unto himself a son.
إن كل من في السماوات والأرض إلا آتي الرحمن عبدا.
There is none in the heavens and the earth, but he shall come to the gracious God as a bondman.
لقد أحصاهم وعدهم عدا.
Verily, he comprehends them by his knowledge, and has numbered them all fully.
وكلهم آتيه يوم القيامة فردا.
And each of them shall come to him on the day of resurrection, all alone.
إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات سيجعل لهم الرحمن ودا.
Those who believe and do good deeds, the gracious God will create deep love for them.
فإنما يسرناه بلسانك لتبشر به المتقين وتنذر به قوما لدا.
So we have made the Qur'an easy in thy tongue, that thou mayest give thereby glad tidings to the righteous, and warn thereby a contentious people.
وكم أهلكنا قبلهم من قرن هل تحس منهم من أحد أو تسمع لهم ركزا.
And how many a generation have we destroyed before them? Canst thou perceive a single one of them, or hear even a whisper of them?